Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Henry loved the radio. In the dark, in his bedroom, on an RCA handed down from his big sister. Late at night was the best. The lyrics meant nothing to Henry, but the music. As simple as the campfire songs he sang, as simple as the nursery songs he knew, really, but that beat and the touch of underclass culture and the do-it-yourself rawness, the Dell Vikings, so exotic. The lyrics meant nothing because he had as yet very little testosterone in him. Henry knew the world expected him to be a teenager one day and get something from love songs, but that was the future. Today was today. Except current events, really. Henry didn't read newspapers. Suez, Macmillan, Sputnik. He read comic books. Tons of comic books. By the hour. And Boy's Life. That came in the mail, which right there was exciting. Henry wasn't the scouting type, but the magazine was for all boys, and he loved those stories and comical illustrations of a world that was not. And he read Mad. This cost serious money from his allowance, but was worth it. It was an addicting fusion of energy with humor, like combining Jets, remember Jets, with wit. Mad had only parody ads in it, which is why it cost a lot. Real ads in Life and Collier's were for grown-ups. Though Boy's Life and comic books did have ads for boys. Especially good were ads in the back pages. Smart and fascinating ads where lurked messages made for him. Tantalizing offers of competence and power. For example, you need a knife, right? Every boy needs a knife. Henry had a knife, jackknife. It was good for whittling, but you know what you really needed a knife for was survival. Survival. And for $4.83 you could get a survival knife with stuff in the handle you would need in a situation, a dangerous situation, where you would have to survive. A lot of situations can come up. There's no telling when you might need a wrist radio. Henry was impressed by the ad that showed how well this one worked. He didn't want a crummy one. Though he couldn't afford that and the survival knife. Of course, there were ways to make money. Henry could see how easy it was to make money selling Christmas cards. Good money. And prizes. Sell them to his mother and maybe to one of his teachers. No, that would be embarrassing. Or just to people in the neighborhood. They'd come to the door and buy tons of cards. Henry did have a rifle, kind of. It was a Daisy Air rifle. A BB gun. His dad said he could get a .22 when he was 12, which would be really, really neat. And although Henry was kind of skinny and kind of weak, that didn't have to be so. And the Charles Atlas book didn't cost anything. It was free. Now this was something great that scientists had developed, with all kinds of practical uses. In fact, there were just all sorts of amazing inventions, and some you had to build yourself, but imagine actually floating on air and riding around school on air. Well, Henry knew he wasn't going to build anything, not like that. He built model planes, breathing Duco cement, but when he tried to make a robot, it hadn't really turned out. All these things were exciting, but when he thought about it, for Henry, the most exciting thing of all, for him, What really gripped his imagination was to throw your voice. That would be so neat. That was something he could do. People would be amazed. Throw your voice. Everybody, his three best friends, his brother and sisters, people in the A&P, they'd gape and have question marks over their heads and think he was amazing. There was so much to be. Life was full of hope. When his parents picnicked at a roadside table, as people did back then, he surveyed the ground for a path, because a path led somewhere, probably a cave, and he knew all kinds of things are found in caves. He didn't try to be optimistic, he just was. Didn't think about it. He was not too interested in philosophy. After Henry's divorce, he learned from his psychoanalyst that the latency period was devoid of libido. And yet, when he was 10, he was totally alive. In all his libido-suffused years, he had never felt more vital than when he was 10. And in the dark, in his bed, late, the radio off, hearing only his own breathing, Henry could and did behold a world of possibilities. He just knew there was something beyond. And he knew deep in his soul that somehow it would involve, very probably, throwing his voice. Oh, yeah. It'll be really, really neat